What we're looking at here is a failed attempt at a raised bed. It was going to be a vegetable garden, but it was poorly constructed. Strength was not a factor here. And really, the point of a raised garden is to facilitate drainage and have good soil. This is the same old clay soil that was here before the box was put in. There's no point for the box at all. And in fact, when a garden isn't successful, it's not easy to take care of. People tend not to take care of it. And the result is a chaotic mess like this. Look at how this was put together. The timbers are simply abutted. They should be overlapping like a log cabin. And they should be staked down to the ground so that they don't move even a little bit. This will be a job. We'll get rid of the weeds first, and then we'll proceed to build a raised planter box that'll really work. We'll be adding a lot of soil amendments to this and building up the soil, but all these weeds can be green manure or organic matter for the soil, so we'll till it all under later. What we'd like to do is build a perfectly square 16-foot by 16-foot box. We've taken a stake and driven it in at each corner. We've tied strings to it, and the way that we're going to check the box to make sure that it's square is to measure the diagonals. If both diagonals are equal, we know we have a square box. The other thing we've done is we've measured the distance from the box to the fence. I've made it exactly 7.5 feet. That gives me plenty of room to get a mower through here if I need to. And now we're ready to put in our first timber. Remember, our other box wasn't built very solidly. This one will be. I've shaved off a little soil with my spade at that end to make sure that I've got this timber very level, both level this way and level this way. And in order to keep it that way, I'm going to drill 3 3/8-inch holes through it and hammer these pieces of rebar through. The 2 on the ends will be driven through at an angle like this, and I'll put one in the middle at the opposite angle. That'll keep the timber from rocking one way or the other. As we go up this slope, the timbers are going to want to go up the slope as well. But we want our timbers to stay level. So if that means digging soil out and burying the end of the timber in the ground, we'll do it. Now, as I've attached successive layers of timbers, I've leveled them not only this way, but also the outside of the box has to be plumb as well. If it isn't, as the box gets taller and taller, it'll look really crooked. Now, as we work our way up the slope, you can see that the timber, in order to stay level, has gone right into the ground. What I'll have to do now is lay an 8-footer on top of this one and bury that in the ground so that it too is level as I work my way up the slope. And the thing to do now is to shave some sod out from under it. We've reached the uphill end of our planter box. This timber will actually form the top layer, even though it's partially embedded in the ground. All the other timbers will be level with this one. This one, being partly embedded, will allow us easy access in and out of the garden with our lawn and garden equipment, like our rototillers and wheelbarrows and whatnot. The other end of the box, of course, will be quite a bit higher. When we're done, we'll have a well-drained, well-defined planter box. This is going to make a fine garden space. 16 by 16 ought to be big enough for any family. Next step is to till under all this grass and weeds and add sand and peat moss, humus and steer manure. By the time we get this done, we'll have a level bed that'll grow anything you want to grow. And that makes gardening fun.